Everybody. So last week I purchased 12 brand new 18650 lithium-ion battery cells from 18650batterystore.com. It's the first time I've ever purchased brand new cells like this, because in the past I have either harvested them from laptop battery packs, or in the other case I got them secondhand with low cycles, and that was my Panasonic NCR 18650Bs. And those cells were getting to where, after about 4 or 5 years of use, they were starting to get hot during charging and would not charge up to over like 4.05 volts without turning into a heater. So it's time to decommission them cells and recycle them and replace them with these. So these are Samsung 35E cells. These are 3500 mAh cells. But the purpose of this video is I want to talk about a little piece of paper that was included in the box. So I'll put a card up in the corner of this video. So it wasn't long ago, well it was last year, I recorded a video talking about how the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has basically required many retailers to my understanding, stop selling 18650 cells that are bare and unprotected. So the sites that you can get them from, believe me, they will do what's necessary to warn you ahead of time about these cells, that they're not like Duracells. So you can see here they tell you do not disassemble, expose the cells to heat above 100 degrees Celsius, or incinerate the batteries. Do not expose the cell to extreme heat or flame. Don't short it out, overcharge or over discharge it. Don't subject the cell to strong mechanical shocks. Do not immerse the cell in water or seawater or get it wet. Do not reverse the polarity. Do not disassemble or modify the cell. Do not handle or store with metallic necklaces, coins, keys, etc. This is a big one. Do not use the cell with conspicuous damage or deformation. Do not connect the cell to the plug socket or car cigarette plug. In other words, don't just plug it into some random power source to charge it. Do not make these direct soldering onto a cell. Normally you shouldn't do this. Only do it if you really know what you're doing. You know how to really be careful. Do not touch a leaked cell directly. Do not use lithium-ion cell in mixture. Do not use or leave the cell under the blazing sun or in heated car by sunshine. Do not drive a nail into the cell, strike it with a hammer, or tread it. That's blatantly obvious, but they had to, I guess, note that anyway. Keep out of reach of children and pets. And on the other side they have this warning here to inspect the cells upon receipt. Make sure they're not damaged. All that good stuff. Because the thing is, I think as part of the U.S. CPSC, I think they required the retailers out there that do sell these to take a lot of extra steps. Like for example, when you look on the website for these cells, there's a big list of warnings that's probably a mile long, telling you not to do this or not to do that with the cell. And I think a lot of it stems from e-cigarettes and vapes. For the longest time, people would harvest cells out of laptop packs that were intended for like low drain use and then throw them into their mods, and in some cases bad things would happen because those cells were not designed for that kind of use. So of course we have this, and I should mention that they even included these carrying cases for these cells. So I think that's pretty nice, but they didn't do that just for, oh hey, here's a complimentary carrying case. It was done as a means of also protecting you and protecting them in a way. So we have these little carrying cases, which are, I think, pretty nice. They're definitely good for if you're on the go. Of course, I'm going to be putting these cells into a holding tray on my desk here like I have most of my other cells. But if you're transporting these, you definitely want to have these in a case like this. So it's nice to include that. So if you look at the cells themselves, I'm getting ready to place them on the charger because I'm going to be putting these in my camera some more, or at least 6 of them. So even the cells themselves nowadays, they have this warning on them saying fire hazard, not for vape. Never install, carry, or handle. And of course, these cells, to be honest, yeah, they were intended to be installed into a permanent pack, but provided you know what you're doing, and provided you take the extra safeguards, you can handle these things. Just be careful with them. You can see it is a INR chemistry. This is the 35E, 3,500 milliamp hours. I can't wait to see how long my cameras will run with these. So the 3,400 milliamp hour cells that I had from Panasonic, when they were in relatively new condition, they would run my cameras for up to about 11 hours. So it'd be very interesting to see how these do. So at this time, I'm not going to do a capacity test of these cells. Matter of fact, I can show you a video in the corner from Project Farm where he actually tested several different 18650 cells, including some cheap ones out of China, using the same charger that I have to do the discharge test. So feel free to go have a look over there. It's a really good video from a really good channel. But yeah, again, it's my first time ordering these 18650s brand new like this. So pretty cool that they include these carrying cases. So I have a couple more videos I can share. So one video in particular is a video that I posted a little while back talking about ways to safely handle and use bare cells like this. And you can see here how it talks about the importance of looking at the cell wrap. So for example, I'll open one of these up again. You can see this cell wrap on this particular cell looks fine. I don't see any issues with it. But if there's any nicks like right in here, that could definitely cause an issue. And I'll also post a card to a video of me rewrapping cells in case you're interested in how that is done. Like I'll show you, for example, this Panasonic cell. These Panasonics, they are notorious for their wrappings to not be so good. Matter of fact, well, these are actually okay. But you can see how they're starting to peel up like this. When they start to do that, they'll catch on stuff, and sometimes the wrapping will tear. So I probably will end up rewrapping these at some point. So these two cells are actually still good. They don't get hot when you charge them. They don't have as many cycles as my other ones. I'll probably end up using these for flashlights because these pink cells here are replacing all of the NCR 18650Bs I have for powering my cameras for cubecompmtdx. So let me show you, before I end this video, I'll show you some of the cells that are actually having problems. Obviously they don't look any different, but one thing I have done is I have marked an H on the cells because I was still using these for a little while. I just had to monitor them and terminate the charge a little earlier, let's say like 4 volts, because if you try to charge them over 4 volts, they would start to get hot because the chemistry has worn out, and anything over that voltage, the cells will literally just shut off as heat. They work fine otherwise, but they're getting recycled. So that being said, I know it's kind of a random video, but I did want to take a moment to shoot this video and discuss some of the stuff that's on this piece of paper here. And if, of course, you're buying these cells bare like this, and not just bare but unprotected, these are bare unprotected cells, you have to keep in mind you do need to know what you're doing when you're handling these things. Of course, my cameras, they run in a 1S configuration, 1S 2P, so I have to be careful about how I load the cells into the camera, but they don't they're not running multiples in series. So it's when you run them in series like that, you really need to have a BMS on a pack like that. But anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video from Cuckoo channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to tick the bell so we get notified of new video posts. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and share this video as well as the channel with your friends and get the word out. Also, I have a second channel, that's cubecompmtdx. Over there you'll find videos about thunderstorms and weather, cycling, and videos about me personally. Feel free to subscribe over there as well if you like. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for your support.